The last light in the lighthouse. For 40 years, Elias had been the soul of Blackwater Point. His life was measured in the rhythm of the tide and the steady, rotating pulse of the great lens. Tonight, the air felt heavy, charged with a coming fury that made his old bones ache. He adjusted his heavy wool coat and looked up at the towering, salt-stained silhouette of the lighthouse, knowing the storm would be one for the history books. The climb was slower than it used to be. Each of the 120 iron steps felt like a mile. Elias gripped the cold railing, his breathing heavy in the narrow, echoing stone stairwell. Outside, the wind began to howl, a mournful sound that shook the very foundations of the tower. He had to reach the top. The ships in the channel were counting on him. Inside the glass-walled lantern room, the world was a chaos of gray and white. Rain lashed against the panes like gravel, and the tower groaned under the pressure of the gale. Suddenly, the steady hum of the clockwork machinery faltered. The golden glow of the lamp flickered once, twice, and then vanished with a sickening hiss. Elias stood in the sudden, absolute dark, the smell of burnt oil thick in his nostrils. He peered out into the blackness, his heart hammering against his ribs. Far out, where the jagged reefs of the Aurora Belle lay hidden beneath the churning waves, a light appeared. It wasn't the steady beam of a ship, but a frantic, intentional pulse. 3 short bursts, 2 long, then 3 short again. It was a signal he hadn't seen in 30 years. The private code of a daughter who never came home. Shaken to his core, Elias retreated to his small study below the lantern room. He opened an old, leather-bound logbook with trembling fingers. Tucked inside was a photograph of a girl with a gentle smile and long, dark hair. Mara. She had been 17 when the Aurora Belle went down. That signal was their secret language, a game they had played with flashlights when she was a child. By dawn, the storm had spent its rage, leaving the ocean a bruised and restless blue. Elias pushed his small wooden dory into the surf, the sand cold beneath his boots. His hands, though gnarled with age, pulled the oars with a desperate, youthful strength. He rowed toward the treacherous reef, toward the graveyard of the ship that had taken his heart so long ago. Near the jagged teeth of the reef, something bobbed in the gentle swells. It was an old, rusted buoy, tangled in thick ribbons of kelp and frayed fishing line. Lashed securely to its iron ring was a brass signal lamp, its glass cracked and clouded by salt, but its heavy casing still intact. Elias reached out, his muscles straining as he hauled the heavy, salt-crusted object into his boat. He wiped away the grime and barnacles from the base of the lamp with the sleeve of his coat. There, etched deep into the metal in a script he knew as well as his own name, was a single word: Mara. This was the lamp he had given her for her final voyage, a gift to keep her safe in the night. It had been lost for 3 decades, yet here it was, returned by the sea. Inside a watertight compartment at the bottom of the lamp, he found a piece of parchment, yellowed and stiff from time. The handwriting was faded but legible. Father, if the sea ever brings this back, know that I never stopped looking for your light. Keep it burning, not just for me, but for everyone lost in the dark. Tears blurred Elias's vision as he pressed the letter to his chest. The sun set over a calm, glass-like sea. High in the lantern room, Elias tightened the last bolt on the repaired mechanism, his movements steady and sure. He struck a match, and the great lens caught the flame, magnifying it into a brilliant golden spear that pierced the night. He wasn't just a keeper of a tower anymore. He was a keeper of a promise, and the light would never go out again.